Hey, what's up, you guys? This is not action figure review. I'm doing something a little different. I'm going to talk about The Matrix. I marathoned all the movies last night with my wife. She got a little bit tired, so I finished, you know, watching Matrix Resurrections, and I just needed to talk about it. So I did do a figure review. This is my homegirl, Trinity. I don't have Neo, Morpheus, none of that. I should have picked up those figures, but I got Trinity. I love Trinity, love Neo, love Morpheus, love the Matrix franchise. This is going to be a spoiler-free review, and then I'll do a separate spoiler review. So, just doing something a little different, you guys. Just getting some things off my chest because this movie really bothered me. So, I love the first two Matrix films. I love them unapologetically. A lot of people don't like Matrix Reloaded. I do. I love Matrix Reloaded. I just think the story works for me, but maybe I'm in the minority. Maybe that's just me. And the action is just outstanding. Maybe some of the CGI doesn't hold up as well, but everybody loves the first Matrix. Like, that's the pinnacle. Matrix 1. Like, everybody universally loves that film. And I do too. And Matrix 1 is the best film out of the franchise. And then right behind it for me is Matrix Reloaded. Now, Matrix Revolutions, I've hated for the longest time. I remember when I went to theaters to watch Matrix Revolutions, and I remember being greatly disappointed. I remember when The Matrix Part 1 was first advertised, and nobody really knew what this movie was about. Like, the advertisements were very vague, and unfortunately, I didn't go to theaters to see the first Matrix, but I saw it when it came on VHS. And I was curious, and I watched it, and I was blown away, like millions of people all over the world. And then Matrix Reloaded came out. I definitely went to the theaters to see that, and my mind was blown. I loved Matrix Reloaded, and I still love it. I recently rewatched it. Like I said, I marathoned all the movies for the past couple of days, so I'm kind of going off of a fresh take with this. So, The Matrix Resurrections has a lot of problems. I'm gonna try to be as vague as possible, but it's extremely hard. It'll be more easier for me to get into it with spoilers discussion. But The Matrix Resurrections has a lot of problems. It's all over the place. For me, this is just how I feel about it, my personal opinion on it. And I can't believe I'm saying this. And I've been saying this in my mind like over and over and over. I would rather watch Matrix Revolutions 100 times than to rewatch this film again. Now, there are some parts in the film that I do like, and then there's some few parts in the film that I love. I did the only thing that saved it for me, which I'm not going to say what it is, but the ending of the film saved it for me. Because if it would have ended differently, I would have said, F this movie. This movie can go to hell. Because when I was watching it, I'm like, what the hell am I watching? Like, it was just a mixed bag of casserole nonsense. It was nonsense. I'm like, how is this The Matrix? Like, what am I watching here? How is this a sequel to a beloved franchise? I know that everybody shits on Matrix Revolutions, but this movie makes Matrix Revolutions look like a masterpiece. And characters that's in here I just didn't care about. I'm sorry, I didn't. The only two characters I cared about and ever cared about was Morpheus, Neo, and Trinity. Now, I don't think this is a spoiler in any way, but if it is, then you guys can. I mean, it's not a spoiler really. It depends on who watch the trailers and stuff and who knows what. But the Morpheus character in this movie, I hated. I felt it was disrespectful. I hated him. I'm sorry. I mean, I don't hate the actor, like I ain't got nothing against the guy, but the betrayal, the betrayal that he did, and the writing of what they did with Morpheus, because I love Morpheus. Morpheus blew me away in the first film. I love Lawrence Fishburne. I love him as an actor. I think he's phenomenal. He's great. And Morpheus is a character that we all just his presence. It just, you gravitated to him. Like, it was just so much purpose. Like, you hung on every word that Morpheus said in the first film, and you believed it. And even Neo said to the Oracle, like, Morpheus almost had me convinced that I'm the one. Everything in the first Matrix movie worked. Some things, I guess for certain people didn't work, but most people regard the first Matrix as the pinnacle of the Matrix. And it is. And I don't think any other sequel that they do or don't do will ever surpass that. Or if they one day reboot the Matrix, and then that'll be a disaster, because it will never top that 1999 classic. Everything just worked. And like I said before, I love Reloaded. I do. I enjoy Matrix Reloaded immensely. I'm probably in the minority with that, but I do. Matrix Revolutions, I used to hate it, but I recently rewatched it last night, and certain parts of it, I kind of had some enjoyment out of it, which I was surprised. But this movie, Matrix Resurrections, I felt it just didn't know what the hell it wanted to be. I don't know. I'm hearing a lot of different things. The Wachowskis, their parents, I believe, recently passed away, so they're grieving. I'm hearing rumors that Warner Brothers was going to make a Matrix movie no matter what. Lawrence Fishburne wanted to come back, and they didn't even call him. Why? I mean, but I guess in a way that's a good thing, because Lawrence Fishburne he really don't deserve to be in a terrible movie like this. And really, Keanu Reeves and Carrie-Anne Moss, they deserved better. This movie it was a massive disappointment to me. And I think it's the worst out of the franchise. Like I said, I would rather watch Matrix Revolutions 50, 100 more times than to watch this again. Because, these characters I didn't care about, like I said, they were disrespectful to Morpheus. I didn't like that at all. Then they try to hit on with nostalgia. Then they try to do cringy comedy, and it just, nothing about this worked. Like I said, the only thing I liked about it were the scenes between Neo and Trinity, and it wasn't even enough of that. There wasn't enough. It wasn't. If the movie would have focused on that, like everybody keeps saying that this is a love story, and I guess in a way it is, but they didn't focus on it enough. We didn't get enough of Neo and Trinity. And basically that's what I signed up for. I mean, it's nice to introduce new characters, but there were too many new characters, and these were characters I just didn't care about. I mean, the only characters I cared about were Neo and Trinity. And like I said, the ending saved it for me. That's the only thing that I liked, was how the way it ended. I feel that they milked this franchise enough. I feel they probably killed this franchise, because a lot of people are bashing this movie. I really wanted to like this movie. I did. I really wanted to like it. But I didn't. I really didn't. I didn't understand what the hell was going on. I didn't know. Like, once the movie kicked off and things started, I'm like, what the hell is going on here? What is going on? And it was like that throughout the whole movie. Like, there's exposition and there's this and that. One of the Wachowskis came back, Lana Wachowski. Lily Wachowski decided not to come back. Maybe that was the problem. Maybe the Wachowskis working together is a better solution. But then again, people hate Matrix Revolutions, and I'm kind of one of those people, but I'd hate this movie even worse. And I heard that Lana Wachowski did not want to do this movie. She tried to get it canceled when COVID happened. Like, I'm just saying, maybe that's why maybe that's why this movie is so much of a mess, because just it was just too much going on with it, and it should have just never been made. It's Matrix Revolutions really should have been the end, and that should have been it. And that's my non-spoiler review. I hope I was as vague as possible. I hope I didn't give too much away. And I'm gonna kick into spoilers in the next vid. So look out for that, guys. Until next time, see you.